Good day, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of WTF Walk the Floors. I'm Stephanie Leger, Chief Excellence Officer of First Rate Hospitality, and we're here for another episode at HITEC in Orlando with my co-host, Michele Kline. Hi, Michele.
Hi, Stephanie. Hi, everyone. This is Michele Kline with Kline Hospitality, and we have a special guest with us today. Rich O'Brien, please tell us about Xpodigital, what you guys do, what problems you solve, and then we really want to know what HITEC has done for you and what you've seen so far that is exciting, that we want to communicate with those who couldn't make it this year.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for having me on. I'm Rich O'Brien, Vice President of Business Development for Xpodigital. We are a digital signage provider for convention hotels, and we are partners with some of the largest brands in the industry. We also provide convention internet and temporary internet solutions for large events that are coming through different venues. We're headquartered here in Orlando. This is our home destination. We are the digital signage provider for the Orange County Convention Center. So we're super happy to be here and have all our hospitality friends in town with us.
That's wonderful. That's super. So what do you think about 2022
Oh my
so
God.
far?
It is so good.
HITEC 2022.
It is. I mean, it is so much fun to have everyone in one space. We're getting to see a lot of our old friends all together again. And so we've been having a blast. And there's been just seeing everyone sitting down, having some great conversations about the industry and really just catching up. So we've been having a really good time.
Perfect.
So wonderful.
And then also too, so I mean, now we're recording, it's been day 2, but we've had a lot even on load-in days on Sunday and Monday. So talk us about, with how those leading up to the conference and how you help out with the vendors that are coming in here at the Orange County.
Sure. So, I mean, load-in day, we started loading in on Saturday. We rigged some large LEDs over top of our booth. So that was quite the fun experience. And then, just seeing everyone setting up their booth, it's always amazing when you walk into a convention space and you see the day before the show on Monday, it looks like, how are they ever going to pull this off and come together with everything? And then Tuesday morning, you walk in bright and early and it's beautiful in here. And everyone's doing a great job showcasing their products and really some cool booth designs as well.
Very
Perfect.
cool. What are some of the technologies you've seen so far as you're walking the floor that could potentially enhance not just the guest experience, but the team member engagement or the team member experience?
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Since we're all dealing with a terrible labor crisis.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of great technology out there that is a great assist for those labor shortages and to kind of make that streamlined process for guests checking into properties and just traveling to help them like shorten their time where they have to wait in line. Or I see a lot of mobile applications with people ordering different food services and things like that. That's been really neat. On our end, being on the internet and digital signage side, ours is about digital communication. And so, live streaming and you have keynote presentations and you have everyone on site, which is fantastic. And now we're at this wonderful place where we're at capacity for people on site joining things. So we're still live streaming out and using all that innovative technology that we learned over the past couple of years. We continue to stream videos and keynote presentations out to the world. So we're seeing a lot more need for robust, strong internet in order to communicate on property and then get that message out to the world. So a lot of innovation has happened in the last couple of years.
And I would have to say, on the positive side, if there was a positive side with COVID, is that hospitality embracing the technology.
Yeah. And that's really the industry, right? Hospitality always embraces the challenges in front of it and makes the best out of it. And it's the industry I fell in love with and I've been doing for about 15 years. And it's because when people are traveling, that's when they're happiest. They're either on vacation or they're meeting other business partners. And the hospitality world just embraces that and welcomes everybody. And it's always changing. It's always on the cutting edge of how do you make the guest experience better and better. And I'm so happy to be a part of that.
Perfect.
So wonderful. So what would you say is the biggest problem that you solve at Xpodigital?
Yeah, well, it comes down to, you mentioned briefly labor shortages and things like that. Our business wouldn't exist or still wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the fact that we provide a real level of partnerships. And so what we're getting the most of is the service that we provide. So when we have doing digital signage and folks need to change their content, they need to push different messages to different signs, they have some last minute requests coming in from their events. Sometimes they don't have enough on-site staff to actually do those last minute changes, and they rely on us and our teams to do that. And we're there to support them. So, we want to make sure that we could do the heavy lifting for maybe when there's those last minute demands that there's just not enough people around to actually, be able to do on their own. We want to provide that help.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And then also too, so we're halfway through the year. Where do you think you're seeing now into the future for the rest of the year when it comes to the technology, and then also too with the digital and the internet as well?
For the end of the year, I think we're going to start seeing things continue to trend up, and I think, as people transition back to live events, just realizing that there's so much more innovation out there. And I guess the biggest part of this show and the whole purpose of it is for the hoteliers to come here and actually see what has changed in the last few years. And there's so much of that.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just getting that message out and then using it in the real world and actually applying it to, the guest experience.
Absolutely. And I have to agree with you. We are seeing a lot of the hoteliers here the last few days, and also too, not just the locals of like here in the Florida or in the southern eastern region, but really international of hoteliers that are visiting here, which is great to be able to. It is so great
to see our international friends back and visiting with us. That's been amazing.
Yes.
So Rich, you're operating in other markets right now. What would you say are the most challenging markets, if there is a difference in your world when it comes to hospitality?
Yeah, there's some markets that have been open a little bit longer and had that opportunity to kind of get through some things. Then there's just some that have different labor needs and requirements, and still getting those groups back. It takes a long time to get events into your pipeline and to sell them and have them come back. But right now across the board, we're seeing a lot of opportunity and a lot of different markets doing creative ways to kind of promote their market and to capture that business. So I think it's just a matter of time, and everyone's going to be back full force. I think by the end of the year, I'm always optimistic about everything, and it's certainly looking that way.
Yes, absolutely. And I think it's also too, like, shout out to Miami. We're one of the, first that was coming back. But then we communicate to our friends over in Vegas to the other markets that are just, catching up and a little behind, and then being able to see what we're seeing of the labor shortages of how hoteliers are able to now overcome certain ways of dealing with the crisis of that, and then WTF moments to being like, hey, this is now how our guests are also to changing, being able to communicate to one another in the market.
Well, exactly. And as you know, I actually lived in Orlando for the last 18 years. Worked at our headquarters here, and I just made the move out to Las Vegas. Yes. You're not going to get me on the film saying anything. I love my both my homes equally. But to be in the two cities that have amazing events and amazing tourism, I really look at both cities. They have that. They're a big city, but they have that small, tight-knit community and hospitality. Yes. And I absolutely love that. And, where there's the theme parks and the attractions here in Orlando, and then you have the Las Vegas Strip. And I mean, both are just amazing. And all the events and all the just leisure travel that's coming back, too, is a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And also, too, just I think a huge thing that we were talking about is the internet as well, as making sure that having that strong internet bandwidth as well with all of the technology that's out there, because how many times have we had WTF moments where we're trying to making sure that we want this product for the guest experience.
And that's really what we're all about. I mean, I'm just looking at the table around us. I see like at least 5-6 devices, and there's only 3 of us here, right? So, and all of them I'm sure are plugged into the internet, and I'm sure we're live streaming. We're live streaming now. We're doing different things on our phone. So when you walk into a space like this, you don't just have the couple thousand people that are in the space. You have a couple thousand people times the 3 devices that they have, and internet's critical to everything that you do. So one of our innovations that Xpodigital did over the last couple of years is that we have instantaneous failover. So if you're doing a live keynote presentation on stage and the main internet circuit goes down, we have the ability to switch over to the secondary circuit. Now that in and of itself isn't anything unique to the industry. What we were able to innovate is that it's a sub-second failover, meaning it switches so fast you never lose your feed.
Wow.
You never see a blip in the video. And so that gives our events customers, that gives the venue itself that extra, whew, all right, we got this. If something crazy happens, there's that sub-second failover. And that's pretty neat. In other cases, it would take up to 30 seconds. 30 seconds, you lose everything and you're rebooting. And when you're on stage and you're giving a keynote presentation, 30 seconds is a lifetime.
I have my biggest fear as a speaker, I do a lot of on stage speaking engagements, and my number one biggest fear is the failure of technology. So that's it's very interesting to be able to provide that level of comfort. I think that's just huge.
Yes. Absolutely.
So tell us, Mitch, in your years doing this, you said you've been around for 15 years. What has been one or two of those WTF mouth-opening type of moments where if we would have been a step ahead of the game, we could have potentially avoided it, right? So we want to provide some tips on how to be a step ahead and, you know, walk the floors and not have those WTF type of moments.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to, you know, different technology and things like that. So we had, a scenario where there's construction happening at a property and, you're supposed to know where things are before you start digging in the ground. And one of the things that was hit was an internet circuit. And so, there's a vent going on, an internet circuit, it's taken out. And so you have that uh-oh moment here, but then also knowing that when you plan ahead by having different paths into a building, luckily everything's able to switch over, right? So you have that moment of fear, but when you well prepare for something like that, you could avoid that crisis. So, that's kind of the moment where people behind the scenes, I think that's the best when you see everyone going, oh no, but then everyone out in the front in the event and the experience on the other end had no idea anything ever happened. To me, those are my favorite moments when the professionals on the other side made it so that no one even knew that there was a problem in the first place. I find that cool.
I'm sure even the speaker wouldn't even
no one knew.
know.
We were the only ones that knew.
Wow.
That's a great recovery.
It's great recovery.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be lovely?
Yeah.
Everything was that way, right?
Yes, exactly.
So I have a question, and I don't intend to go back to 2020 and how COVID hit. I think that we're all tired of that already, but I'm very interested to understand what it is that your organization did during those months, because literally there was nothing going on for you, nothing.
Yeah, I mean, just like anyone else that was in the industry, it was tough times. Going into 2020, we were seeing fantastic growth and really getting our name out there and doing well. And then all of a sudden, just one day, it just stopped. And I'm sure my experience here in Orlando was International Drive was empty on spring break. I imagine the Las Vegas Strip was empty.
My gosh. This is literally, those things that go around. I can't remember what the name of that is.
The tumbleweed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Down the Las Vegas Boulevard, no joke.
Yeah. I went to the corner of Sand Lake and Orange Avenue, I Drive, the busiest intersection, I think, in the tourism district here in Orlando, and I did 10 push-ups in the middle of the street.
Wow.
That's as many as I could do. But the point that I was making was that, oh my God, there's no one here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so being in hospitality and events specifically on top of that, I mean, it was a double whammy. So what we really did as a team, so I lead our sales team here, and we wanted to get out and meet with our customers individually, and every market had a different challenge or a different experience in front of them. And we wanted to make sure that we were engaging with them. So if we were doing a video chat, or if they would welcome us into their properties, we'd sit down with them and we talk, and we'd understand what their needs were. And we were able to work with them on a case-by-case, partner-by-partnership level. So over the 2 years, we hadn't lost a single customer. We were able to keep everyone on board. And then when our sales team were going into different places, we actually helped turn some beds. They were short-staffed. And so they're like, Rich, we don't have anything for you to sell to us. We can't buy it. I'm like, that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to sit down with you, see how things are going, and can I help? And we turned some beds. at some of the properties. And, you know, it was
Wow.
just something that was just helpful because the GMs are turning beds. The front desk people are turning beds.
Mhm.
Everyone was wearing multiple hats during this time. And it was just great to participate. So through building those relationships and just really just being there and being true partners, I feel like that was valued. And now we're kind of seeing that as, especially when we come back here and talking to everyone that's here at HITEC, you know, they're thankful for that. And it's showing with continued relationship and then, you know, more customers coming
Absolutely.
our way. So,
And I'm
Great
sure
story.
Yeah.
through those conversations also too of opening up a conversation that would have probably have never have happened as well.
Yeah. It was a unique experience. And so we just, you know, kept going. So, and we work for an amazing company too that was, you know, able to push through and you know, now we're coming out the other side end of it and we're, you know, couldn't be more excited.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a great conference
Yeah.
so far. We're looking forward as well tomorrow, last day,
Yep.
to being able to still engage. And so where can our viewers be able to reach out to you on LinkedIn and then also too with Xpodigital?
We're all over LinkedIn. So you can find Xpodigital, our LinkedIn page. You can come see us at booth 2524. And you can't miss us. We have a large LED above our heads, but then also Xpodigital.com. And then I'm always available too. So Rick O'Ryan, look me up on LinkedIn, and I'm happy to get back to you. So
We'll be sure to tag you.
Yeah.
If you want to. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Rich, for being here. This was great, and I loved your story of how you were able to, you know, bring your hospitality into the hospitality world and make
Mhm.
things happen through 2020 and 2021 as your side of the industry started wrapping up. So that was lovely. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. It was
Absolutely.
an honor to be here.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Have a great one.